And here we are with the Dolphins post-game show for 5 Reasons Sports Network. My name is Louis Sung. This is Manny Chang, and we're going to be doing the post-game for a little while. I'm sure we'll have more folks start to funnel in as we go. There we go. We have a good friend here, Mr. Chisholm. How are you?
Doing good. A little better game than last week, just by a little bit,
Yeah, you're going to have to...
the optimism.
Well, you know what? You know what, though? Because you know what? The funny thing is that I actually was not going to come in here and start trashing the team for everything that they did wrong. Because believe me, while there was a lot of stuff that they did wrong, I'm not going to go. I already see everybody panicking on Twitter. Flores sucks. Everything is terrible. No excuses.
Oh, that's been going
blah, blah, blah.
all game.
No, I know.
Suck stuff was going all game. I mean, the amount of people that were overreacting to that was insane.
Oh, yeah. And so I'm going to just go ahead and get started. So the initial thoughts on everything that I saw during this game. Listen, this honestly just reminds me of the beginning of the 2019 Dolphins in a little bit of a different sense. They actually did perform better than that team did last season by this time. And you have to give them credit where it's due. It's not like, in spite of the fact that the defense was just awful, because it really was. I already see comments starting to roll in from Jamie McCaslin. Where am I supposed to take from this game that Flores is a good coach? Well, now here we go. So this is where I'm going to already go ahead. So let me go ahead and offer my explanation. So again, this is where you have to take into account that this is still a team that has basically revamped their entire roster. This is still a team that the plan was always 2021. It was from going in. We knew going in that it wasn't going to be really contender ready until 2021. We knew this going into the whole plan. So I understand the impatience. I understand the frustration in watching it because we still have to watch it, but this is still the transitional period. And the fact of the matter is, again, we don't have a pass rush right now. We don't have any real pass rush players right now. We have guys that are trying to set the edge, not doing a really good job of it, but that's besides the point. And the loss of Byron Jones made such a difference. Such a difference.
I disagree with you there. I just think I was bad schematic scheme because they kept throwing crossing routes the whole game. I know you want to stay true to your man coverage scheme, but at the time, Josh Allen, when he gets off his target, he can't complete those like that. So I think you should have just started dropping back in zone because they killed us on crossing routes entirely the whole game. It was
all like they were playing Madden.
Yeah, all their big plays came from crossing routes. And Lewis, to add to your point, Miami's not gonna ever be a big pass rush team because their scheme doesn't allow it. We're kind of mimicking the Patriots scheme, and the Patriots haven't had a big sack guy since Chandler Jones. So you're not gonna ever really be a team where we have, games where we have 5 or 6 sacks a game. No, we'll just be a pressure team trying to generate pressure to create turnovers, stuff like that. But I just think the defenses look very bad, so we can't. That's something we can't go away with. But
you know what though, I'm still gonna say that again. I won't deny it. The crossing routes murdered the Dolphins all game long. But I will. But you know what? Seriously, if we're gonna say that it's 1-to-1 between Noah Igbenogany and Byron Jones, then that's just not fair to the rookie. Let's be clear. I don't think, in spite of the fact of everything that happened, I don't think Igbenogany played badly. It's just that he couldn't keep up with Diggs, man. He was just too fast for him half the time.
Well, but whenever you play man defense, you are giving up crossing routes because that's the outlier in the defense because you're crossing. Somebody can be picked off between the crossers. It's just different route concepts. And the add-on to it, it's not like the Bills have no speed at receiver. They have Brown, they have Diggs. So crossing routes is just going to kill you no matter what. Even though you said Jones, the defense they were running, it did not matter who was going to be at corner anyway because of the routes they were running. It's hard to defend the crossing routes in zone. I thought the Dolphins should have dropped down with a robber at least once or twice. The safety just dropping down, lurking in the middle of the field, but they didn't even do that. And then obviously Eric Rowe missed the turnover with the pick. That should have been an interception. That would have kind of turned the game around. But
2 times. Twice. First was Van Noy and then Howard. He had it there and he just kind of
he absolutely had that. Absolutely had that interception.
Yeah. Like I said, Miami didn't play bad, but I mean, it's not. I'm gonna be honest. Dolphin fans' expectations are here, and we're not there. And anybody who's watched the team, watched the games last year, should have knew Miami was going to be a 6 to 8 win team. It was never going to be this. Oh, we're going 9-7, 10-6. Because, come on, man, that's crazy.
That's what I was saying earlier. Is that the expectations are being placed too high? Like, tell me how many of us here, at the very least, how many of us here in the network working here now thought that 2020 was the year, that this was going to be it. We drafted two and now everything's going to go. No, the plan was always
progress, though, Lewis.
You do want to see progress.
If you want to see something that a fan could say, you know what, it feels different, and it doesn't feel different right now. It feels like it's the same movie, except and went from VHS to DVD to Blu-ray. It's the same crap every single week. That's what it is.
Well, they have gotten better though, because last year Buffalo blew them out. So there's not like they haven't gotten better.
Onside kick for a touchdown last year.
Listen, Patriots blew them out first in the opening game of the season. Not opening game, but I think it was game
first
2.
Game at home. Yeah,
blew them out. So the Dolphins have gotten better. It's just they haven't gotten better than the teams in their division. So I don't understand why. I do think that the Dolphins at the end of this year are gonna have to move away from Chan Gailey though, because I think they're gonna need a new offensive coordinator to pair with Tua. Because they should just give Tua the whole like the Brady thing. Let's give him some continuity. Somebody who can call schemes to his strength. I know we're gonna hear a lot of talk. Oh, Tua need to be the guy. Tua need to be the guy. No, he's not coming. But let's look at some of the positive. Mike Gesicki did have a big game.
Yeah. Beautiful one-handed catch for sure.
Yeah.
Had a big
Gaskin
game.
Had a good game.
We had talked about it earlier in the pregame, and I said I think Gesicki could have a big game just because of the linebackers. But another issue for me though, and I don't know if you guys would agree, Lewis.
I hope we're all laughing at that same comment.
Yeah, but
this is great.
Another issue.
They're mad. What can you say? They're mad. And I get it. Yeah. I get it.
Another issue though, and you guys should agree, the Dolphins have not one receiver who can create separation. I heard earlier this week, let's trade for
Jakeem Grant could.
He's too slow. If he's not running backwards for 20 yards, not the problem.
Make him run forward for down the field and then catch the pass. That would be nice.
It feels like the only receiver that even has been getting the main targets is Isaiah Ford, which is interesting to think about. Ford
is getting targets, but it's not because Ford is getting separation. It's not that Ford is getting separation. It's because they're running routes that are built to get the separation. Those crossings, those slants, all that stuff is built that way. That's why the crossing routes worked against the Dolphins. They were that once they run that cross, immediately the wide receiver has position on the corner. So when you saw them start to attack the seam, it was like all of a sudden the Dolphins offense started to click, because that's how pretty much every offense in the NFL functions. Once you can get that going, once you can make those plays happen, everything starts to move better.
Well, that's just indicative of the Dolphins' weakness. Anytime you start to see quarterbacks only throwing inside the seams, it's because the quarterback's throwing closest to their target. That's
or it's working.
That too, but in high school football, what do you see? They throw straight seam routes because the quarterback can make those throws. Fitzpatrick cannot throw to the outside receiver unless it's closest to him. They're designing throws for him that's closest to him so his arm can make it. So
I frankly don't care as long as it works. I don't, as long as they can't stop it, I won't stop doing it.
Did anybody watch Ryan Tannehill today?
Oh my God, went off.
Well, I mean, he's playing.
I'm just saying.
Listen, it would be so easy for me to take a victory lap because I spent years getting trashed because of him. But that's okay. Well, I'm not going to go there.
But Ryan Tannehill, he never was a bad quarterback. He just wasn't he's not going to win you a Super Bowl. He's going to win you some games.
But he's winning with what? One best offensive player in Derrick Henry.
No.
Hey, yo, Jonnu Smith. Whoa.
Jonnu Smith wasn't a big type of tight
end. No. Let's go down there. List the weapons.
Here we go.
They got two good receivers, Brown and Davis.
Davis.
They got Jonnu Smith.
Derrick Henry.
And
FIU, baby, FIU.
they got a top 5 O-line in the NFL.
Okay. And they got a coach.
The Dolphins have a coach. The Dolphins have a coach. Their offensive line has gotten better. We cannot refute that point.
Yeah.
We can't say that. A lot of sacks today came down around Fitzpatrick holding on to the ball too long. So
to address one of the YouTube comments by Greg here, I was the whole entire week I kept saying that if this was a bad game by Fitzpatrick, that we'd probably see Tua on Thursday night. When do you guys think that that's going to happen?
No,
now it seems like that's not going to happen.
No. You have to stick to the program. Like we cannot just because
I'm saying because you get me. Last year he was so quick. Flores was so quick to get off of Fitzpatrick and go to Rosen. Of course, it's a different situation, but
Yeah, but we had to see what we have from Rosen. Tua is the long-term guy, and Tua was the best quarterback in his draft class. It's not close.
Well,
when he get in the game, everybody gonna be like, "Well, damn, this kid can really play because he can. He's a great quarterback."
Right, but that's why everybody wants to see him now. That's the problem.
Yeah, but okay. So say this because this happened to Sam Darnold. It happened to Darnold. Darnold got thrown in the fire early, right? Bad
He
coaches.
got thrown in with Adam Gase, Jakari. That's the difference.
Too,
everybody in New York sucks because of Gase.
Yeah, but he got thrown in with a bad O-line, no receivers that can get open, right? And now we're going to be talking about next year when they drafted in the top 2, top 3. They're going to be like, oh, I think we should draft Trevor Lawrence. They're going to give up on Darnold, right? So my thing to Dolphin fans is, would y'all rather see Tua get in the game now? He's going to make some plays because the kid can play. That he's going to
hope and pray that he doesn't take a shot like Fitzpatrick near the end of the game.
Yeah.
That too. But Fitzpatrick didn't play bad today. I think, man, they slashed his stat 31 of 47, 328 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So that's not a
he didn't play
bad.
Bad. No, I was meaning more so like if we saw like kind of what we saw like week 1. I know some of it was bad. Like if we saw that just because maybe Flores would just jump at the opportunity. But the whole time that I've been saying that, it's also been if that wasn't the opportunity to put him in against the Jaguars.
I smell some heat in this Dolphins post-game show.
So
Bam Adebayo would be one of the best pass rushers on this Dolphins defense.
Well, he's athletic. But this is what I'm trying to get fans to understand, though. The Dolphins scheme would never allow them to get big pass rush numbers. Calvin Noyes, not a big pass rush guy.
No.
Shaq Lawson, not a big pass rush guy.
We knew that.
Emmanuel Ogbah, his best season, 6.5 sacks. They are more of a contained rush team. Make the quarterback push up into the pocket, make him force those downfield. The Patriots won with that scheme for years. When, like I said, look at their Super Bowl team. Outside of the year, they had Chandler Jones where he had like 15 sacks or something like that. That's it. They never paid him. They let him go because they didn't want to pay him, right? The Dolphins scheme is not going to allow them to be a big pass rush team. What I would like to see them do is bring in Raekwon Davis because I think the kid can play.
Steal in the draft if everything come together.
Yeah. So
well, from what we've been hearing about Raekwon Davis is that he's just kind of. I saw one thing that says that he needs to get off the field because all he does is lumber out of his stance and then just kind of stands there. From what I haven't been able to see much of him.
He's not a DN though. He's a 3-tech, so that's another problem. So him and Christian Wilkins need to be rotating inside again. You put him at nose tackle 3-tech, he gonna make plays. Defensive end, kind of how they had Christian Wilkins looking very bad last year at the DN position in the 3-4. It's not for him. Put him at that 3-tech. Guy gonna make plays.
Well, we've already been seeing improvement from Christian Wilkins. We've seen improvement from Christian Wilkins. We've seen improvement from the offense in general because they're starting to realize that they can do these things that they really seemed like they didn't want to do. The offensive line has improved somewhat. You have to, again, it's baby steps. It's baby steps.
Jackson's playing very well though.
He is. Austin Jackson's actually playing a lot better than I thought he would, to be perfectly honest. Jesse Davis, however.
But see, this is my thing. This is my thing though with the Dolphins.
The face of despair.
The Dolphins don't need next year when they're drafting because they're gonna be drafted. They don't need to draft no Jamar Chase because he doesn't create separation like that. No, Jalen Waddle should be a target for him. Devontae Smith. They need route running guys who When Tua say Hut, okay, I know this guy gonna be open. Jerry Jeudy, when you say Hut, you looking over there. All right, this guy creating separation off the ball. You cannot get Allen Robinson, who's gonna do the same thing Devontae Parker doing, same thing Preston Williams doing. But to the point, Miami did lose this game, but drop pass in the end zone by Preston Williams. That would
Huge.
That was huge. Before
It always
the
just
half,
comes down to
Couldn't believe
who
that he
makes
dropped
the
it.
most mistakes.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It always comes back down to who made the most mistakes, and the Dolphins, being the younger team, the less experienced team, it turned out to be them. There was a pick. There was the only thing I don't have an excuse for is Xavier Howard. That interception, he made his money on being the interception guy. He has no excuse to drop that pass. That was literally like Josh Allen gift wrapped that pass for him. He should have come down with it.
He'll do that
100%.
He'll do that all game if he ain't got his first read though.
You saw that throughout the game as well. Like he just got too antsy in the pocket and he would miss some throws, but then at the same time, you just saw it goes back to the crossers. Like they just kept getting beat with crossers.
That's easy throws for a quarterback though. You just give him crossing routes. Like, hey, let me just anybody can complete crossing routes because guys dragging across the field. That's why LSU last year with Joe Burrow had so much success because Joe Burrow doesn't have a good arm at all. But they was running double post, deep crossing routes, receivers coming right across, completing passes from 15 to 20 yards.
Well, I mean, when you have a very good offensive line with good wide receivers, you could probably do that in college, but not in the pros because everybody's not equal.
Well, Kansas City do it all the time. That's
Patrick Mahomes, man. He makes people miss.
All right, let me go ahead and give y'all a little tidbit. I played against Mahomes when he was at Texas Tech. Mahomes went to the best situation possible for him. Had an offensive guru coach in Andy Reid. Because what offense have you ever seen Andy Reid coaching? It was bad. Like, it was like, damn, he sucked. Never.
Not even with Alex Smith. Still
not even went with that.
They got with the Eagles was really bad, but that's
not the offense wasn't bad though. Right, like he turned Alex Smith into a Pro Bowl quarterback. Right now, you give him this kid with immense talent. Got 4-3 speed receivers out there. They running a lot of crossing routes, drags, pick action, stuff like that, and get the ball out, and that's gonna work because you got speed on the outside and. You know, like the Dolphins are a heavy man team, so they're gonna give that up. Like, so you have to, in H defense, you have to surrender something. So if you're gonna play heavy man, you gotta be susceptible. Because the only thing you gotta hope is your DB ain't in that far of a trail position not to make the tackle. You know what I mean? Just to hope the game. But Igbenogany, like you said, Lewis, Igbenogany did not play bad today. He gave up a cut, but he made some plays too.
He tried his best. Seriously, this is why I feel like we're getting these guys too low already because Igbenogany he's playing against a guy who's just too fast for him. I watched him run down the field with Igbenogany. He's like full stride, desperately trying to keep up with Stephon Diggs. It's just this poor kid. He can't.
It's different. It's different. Like playing corner and trying to run though. Like it's harder, but. I mean, what you call it? Like, I was looking at Justin Herbert. This guy looks, oh my God, he looks terrible, dude. So, you dodged your bullet there.
So, like, you know what? I was trying to tell a lot of Dolphins fans, you know, because they were all on this poor rookie. He was put in a tough position. Because
that's why it makes a difference. Are we trying to? That's why I was saying is this makes a difference.
Come into the game, and you got to face a pretty good wide receiving core. And yet, you know, you have to be ready. Obviously,
you're playing the best receiver. You're not just playing you're shadowing the best guy on their team.
And like one thing is preparing for it, and another thing is all of a sudden getting thrown into it.
See,
it's growing things.
That's true, but another thing is I don't like about the Dolphins is they don't move their corners either, so they all stay on one side. So pretty much teams will be able to isolate whoever they want or whoever they want because Howard's not switching on to the best guy. Jones is not switching on to the best guy. They're standing on one side of the field. So,
that was the idea.
Yeah, but the Jones injury hurt. But like I said, I just don't think the Dolphins played as bad as the numbers would say. I mean, scoring defense matters. You only gave up 31 points, even though you surrendered 524 yards.
Yeah, but Josh Allen threw for 413 yards.
But he threw for most, like he threw for that in the first half mostly. I think he finished the first half with about 200 and something yards. He came back after the halftime and the light and delay. Like they were all right. Miami was in the game. Miami won the game. Dropped the interception and a drop touchdown pass. Miami in the game. They lost by 3. So
Two of the drop picks. Drop picks. That last pick by Xavier Howard, you still are in the chance to be able to push down the field and try to score and win.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, we played bad, but are the Dolphins looking how they did the first 2 games last year? Hell no. First game of the year, 59-0. No. It was 52-7, and then the Patriots came down here and beat us 59-0. Like, no. The Dolphins have improved. It's just that I don't know why the fans are like, oh, we're going to beat like a
because they want
Tua. Yeah, exactly.
They want Tua. That's the only thing. They get Tua and everything gets better. Everything gets better. Everything.
For
they feel fans, justified that they were being listened to.
So for Dolphin fans out there, would y'all rather have the Mahomes plan or would they rather have the Darnold plan, right?
Because the Darnold plan? Yeah, that's
Baker Mayfield set for the first 6 games of his rookie season now until he came in. It's better, and they had no preseason, so like throwing Tua out there right now would be like, damn, bro, we really setting this kid up for failure. No preseason.
Yeah.
The only thing I will give him though, he's a gamer, so it's like he might get in there, and you know what I mean. But to me, the Dolphins always were gonna be picking in the top 10 because I don't think they were gonna win no more than 6 to 8 games, and that's fine. Next year, you retool the offense because the offense is okay, but we don't have no explosive players or explosive. Burrito's explosive though. I'll give him that. I don't know why he's not getting more touches either. But
because Myles Gaskin is doing more.
Playing well. Yeah.
I mean, but Burrito
so comfortable though in this offense. Like, why not give him more opportunities, man?
First carry he get, bam, right up the middle.
It's just Gaskin's just playing too well to
I agree.
Seriously.
But you know what? I like the Gaskins coming out of Washington anyway. He's a good back. He has some good stuff to him. But do you guys still feel Miami's gonna draft another running back next year?
No, I hope not.
They should.
At this point, no. At this point, no. At this point, I'm sticking with Gaskin and Laird and whoever. Yeah. These guys, these Dolphins, they know how to take late round and undrafted guys and just turn them into something pretty darn good. That's the thing about this side I don't like is that a lot of what I've noticed. This is coming from somebody who hasn't played. I'm sure Jakari, if you have thoughts on it, you can tell me. But I feel like a lot of what comes into playing running back is just how hard are you running the football? When you compare it to Jordan Howard and Matt Breida, it just feels like Gaskin is putting more into it than those other guys. And maybe it's because he's trying to be an overachiever. Maybe it's because he's trying to prove something. But it just feels like that makes the big difference. Patrick Laird tries harder and he found success. Myles Gaskin tries harder and he found success. Every time Jordan Howard gets the football, it looks slow. It looks lifeless. It's nothing.
He doesn't run as hard as he should for his size, so I know that's a lot of problem with.
That was the Kalen Ballage. That was the Kalen Ballage thing.
Kalen Ballage, Jesus.
Yeah, so but a lot of guys are like that. Saquon Barkley's like that. Melvin Gordon's like that. Those guys are pretty decent sized backs, and they just, sometimes you'd be like, well, damn, bro, just hit the hole. But running back has to do with that. It has every position on the field has to do with effort. So we can't sit there and say like that, but.
Right, and when you see somebody like Gaskin doing the stuff that he does, it almost makes you feel like, okay, so who really wants to be out there and who doesn't really seem like they care that much? Because I'm not going to accuse Jordan Howard of anything, but it looks like he's bored. It looks like he doesn't want to play. Then you have Breida, who he got a hole in there, and when he finally hit that hole, it was like, oh, he finally got somewhere. Standing around in the backfield waiting, just kind of go for it.
Most backs, if they hit the hole, most times can pick up 3 to 4 yards if they just hit the hole. Obviously, it's different styles of running, but I'm more of a guy when I play running back, yeah, you're looking for cutback lanes, but sometimes if you just hit the hole, you got to be kidding me. You just hit the hole, man, you're going to hit. Like last week when the Giants played the Steelers, Saquon Barkley had a few plays. If he just hit the hole, he hit his head on the goalpost, but it's different type of running styles. But like I said, I'm more of a one cut downhill guy. Let's get downhill because picking up 3 to 4 yards of carry is fine because I'm leaving my offense in 2nd and 6, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, not 2nd and 9, 3rd and 9. Like you putting your offense behind the chains once you're not picking up that many yards on the first.
That feels like that would be that is the essence of a power running scheme, is to get 3-4 yards of carry, just smash it down the line, and just go. That's the power running scheme. Just get a few yards every single play, and you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until you finally get to where you need to go, and then you can open up the passing game. It doesn't feel like, if you're going to run a power running scheme, which we assumed that's what the Dolphins were doing, getting Solomon Kinley and Robert Hunt and all those guys, we assumed that was the plan, and that's why we got Jordan Howard, was because it's supposed to be a power running scheme. So waiting around, waiting for a hole to open up, and then trying to dodge defenders, that feels like that's the antithesis of what it is we were trying to build the team to actually do.
Do you guys feel Miami's on the right track?
Yeah.
Not on the field.
Not well in general for the future. Yeah, you have to think so.
In the future, yes, they're on the right track. That's the improvements don't come instant. If it's that easy, there would be a different team in the Super Bowl every single year, because it's just not that simple. So
when was the last time we could say, like, well, damn, bro, we feel like Miami finally got to get, and it's not just us who's saying that.
Ricky Williams.
The experts are saying that. You got Tony Romo. They said Nate Burleson always agreeing that, well, damn, they got a head coach who can win. But see, like I told people last year, I was like, Dolphins won 5 games with no expectations last year, right? Once you get expectations, that's when we started to hear all the complaining. Oh, why isn't Tua playing? Tua could be playing right now. Miami will still be getting beat, like, because the teams they're playing are better. They're not. It's not nothing that he's gonna do. The thing I would like to see the Dolphins do, I've seen people talk about Juju Smith-Schuster. They do not need another guy like that. They don't need. They need a guy who can get open, explosive. Like Jakeem Grant is explosive, but he kind of struggles getting it going. But we need a guy that, when we give him the ball, he can go 60, 70 yards at receiver, not at running back. We had that at running back, but at receiver, we don't have no explosive plays coming out of the passing game.
So what you're saying is that we have too many guys who can make the contested catch, but not enough guys who are just going to outrun everybody on the football field
or create separation in routes. Fitzpatrick's at the point in his career where he needs guys who are open. He does not need the jump ball guys, because those balls can go. They're 50-50 balls, right? The interceptions you seen him throw is things like, okay, why is he throwing it? This guy not open. So you have to give him more explosive weapons on the outside, guys who can really run. Like I said, next year Antonio Brown should be in play for the Dolphins at receiver.
Oh no! I draw the line there. No, I don't want him anywhere near this team. I don't want him anywhere near Tua. I don't want him anywhere near anything. I'm sorry. No.
Would it be?
I'm sorry.
But would it really, Lewis? Would it really be that bad?
He made it. He was in New England for 1 week.
As a receiver,
1 week, and he wore Bill Belichick down to nothing, and he was out.
Let's take it.
I don't want him in Miami.
Let's just take it as he is, as a receiver, as a football player.
He was the best receiver since Jerry Rice.
Jakari, you can't separate the two. You can't. We tried that with Mark Walton, and he blew it. I don't want to do this with Antonio Brown.
No. You can never compare apples to oranges. Mark Walton had felony charges of beating up a woman. AB
and Antonio Brown needs the psych ward, man. I don't want it.
No, I disagree with you there. I think AB ain't nothing was wrong with AB, but he's seen the world come crashing down in front of him. That was it. He hasn't had he's been great ever since he got released from the team. The kid, he's changed. He's been back to Antonio Brown. For 9 years in Pittsburgh, he gave no issues. I'm going by the body of work. I'm not going by one tumultuous season. He was in a shitty organization with the Raiders, coming from that shithole, and then you go to the Patriots. He messed up. He messed up with the Patriots because had he just been quiet, yes, he would have played the whole season, and Patriots probably would have been the Super Bowl. But like I'm saying, AB will be in play for them next season. I would not be surprised.
Well, I'll
Lewis
just
hates
say
it.
agree to
On
disagree
that
on
note,
that.
guys,
You hate it.
let's just realize that it's a quick turnaround for this team. They got to play Jacksonville on Thursday. The
I think
Jaguars,
Jackson,
in
Jacksonville's
Jacksonville.
gonna win though.
Well, I mean, listen, you just
There
you
want
go.
to see some
There's a
progress at
prediction.
least in 3 days. So, I don't know.
But Jacksonville has played better than the Dolphins have. They
True.
competed. Minshew's a
Gardner
good
Minshew's looking
quarterback.
good.
Cardinal
He's a good.
Minshew.
He's a
Gardner
turnover
Minshew looks
machine.
better than Carson Wentz. I thought I would ever say that. that is hard for me to say because I'm in.
But when you're a gunslinger at quarterback and you're young, Minshew's out there playing with nothing to lose. Like
he has no pressure. Exactly, he has no pressure.
So I just think the only way I play Tua is this. If Fitzpatrick get hurt, that's the only way he'll be on the field for me. And even if he do get hurt, I would sign a backup quarterback to come.
Jake Rudock. Or we can go swipe Josh Rosen from the Patriots practice squad.
Let him. So
the Buccaneers. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I thought he was Belichick.
I would not play him, but from a scheme perspective and a team perspective, Miami has not played as bad as the numbers may have seen because they've been in both games that they've lost. So it's not like they just out there getting beat. You know how it is after the game. You overreact. Everybody's overreaction time. So once you go watch the film, you'll be able to say, okay, Miami didn't play that bad, or they could have. But like I said, from watching the game right now, do you think Miami could have won this game?
They should have.
Absolutely.
They already had the lead. All they had to do was make the interception, and that would have been it.
Well,
from an improvement standpoint, last year when we watched the first 2 games, did you guys say that? Oh, well, Miami could have won that game. Hell no.
I mean, no. You said it how it is. Like literally looking back at it, it's like they lost 10-59 to Baltimore. They lost 43-0 to the Patriots. At Dallas, they lost 31-6. Then at home against the Chargers, 30-10. Like that, those first 4 games were horrible. And like these 2 first games haven't been as horrible as the last. I mean, literally 59.
They competed. They
43-0. Yeah, they could have easily won both games. They could have won last week. The offense did not play well. They had the turnover issues. The defense couldn't stop the run. This week they had the lead. They should have won. Interceptions dropped. I mean, plays that should have been made that weren't. I mean, they were in both games.
That's the difference between a good team and a bad team. Just that simple.
I think Jamie here has a point though when it comes to the defense, but he also has to realize that it takes time. It's it's new players.
It's a brand new defense.
Yeah,
it's a linebacker core is brand new.
And their equal best corner went down with a groin injury early in the game. I know, Jakar, you keep saying that it really didn't make a difference, but I just feel like in order to say that it doesn't make a difference.
No. It make a difference. Obviously, he's a great player. I just feel like this. He's a great player, but the Dolphins have competed. That's what you wanted to see. That's improvement. Like, improvement doesn't always come in wins. It's sort of like college football, right? You always see a team that go 3-9 the previous year, and they played 8 close games, but they lost 1 or 7 in the close games. Next year they come back, they win those 7. Yeah, they win those games. Just like, for instance, we seen like the Patriots turn around, right? When the Patriots had Drew Bledsoe out there, they were struggling. Tom Brady comes in, system get the rolling. Now those guys are consistently winning. So you have to build your program. How do you counter a team who is constantly stacking receivers on one side of the defense when it comes to coverage? Because when you do that, Anthony, you got to kind of play banjo. So they have to switch the receivers.
Can you translate that to layman's terms?
So whenever they have a stacked receiver,
Corey Gibbons is our defensive
coach. He's playing banjo.
So when they stack the receivers, right, you have a receiver at the top of the point, and then you have a receiver at the back and a receiver at the back. So the guy who's pressing the point, that's his man forever. So he's taking him wherever, right? So the 2 guys who are playing back, who are covering the other 2 inside guys, right, outside of the point, they have to banjo it. So when you play the banjo, you switch, right? So if the guy goes out, the out whoever goes out the corner on the outside takes that, and whoever go inside the corner on the inside takes that, right? So they have to switch.
So basically, you have to be ready to switch guys on a dime.
Correct. So now the reason
Good
why
luck trying to do that in a new defensive scheme with players.
Correct, but the reason why teams stack like that because it's hard to press the two outside guys, and the guys who are coming, they have to be like, okay, I have to be ready to switch. I have to be able to take this man or take that man. But when you have the guys chasing the guys, because whenever they stack the point, somebody going out, somebody going under, somebody going behind the linebacker. So most times you're gonna get a corner, drag, dig, or dig out, corner, dig. Something's gonna be intermediate between it. And when those guys are just trying to chase those guys, it's gonna get open because you're rubbing each other off and stuff like that. So they have to switch that.
So I can't stop seeing the comments. I can't stop because it keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Over there it is again. See, Thomas Pena, when is it going to be Tua time? Next year. That's my answer. Stop asking the question.
Listen. The crazy part is because
we're going to see him this year at some point.
No,
I'm sure we will. I just don't think it's a good idea.
Week 17, they should play him. Season over with. So, like I said, 2021, when Tua come in, Miami win 10 games, people will be like, well, damn, they made the right decision.
I'm glad that this comment just popped up because I saw it come out in the chat. I feel like it's exactly what we were just talking about. It's like people just need patience. I know it's like, oh, same old, like, oh, just needing patience. It's like, as you were saying, how many times have you ever felt coming into an offseason where you're like, wow, it seems like the Dolphins have pieces in place in the front office and in coaching where we saw some progress and finally we can actually see, okay, we can build something, and then you draft a quarterback like Tua, who's supposed to be this guy that's going to lead your franchise. It's like, and you're getting completely new pieces on defense, on offense. Like, you need time. Like, it can't just be the situation where we're competing for a wild card spot this year. It's not. That should have never been the expectation.
No. First of all, the teams in the division were too good. Once Cam Newton went to the Patriots, I was like, all right, well, that knocks the Dolphins down a bunch. The only team who's worse than the Dolphins right now is the Jets.
I don't think there's any team in the league that's worse than the Jets.
So,
no, there isn't.
But my thing is patience. Building takes time. Just like with the Miami Heat, over time.
And Jakar, I'd like to comment. Sorry to cut it off. I'm gonna address something that came up as well because I like the post game that we're talking in the chat. We're talking with people and we're actually addressing concerns. Why next year? And because I see that Herbert is playing and Burrow is playing. That's the thing. But here's the thing.
Number one pick. He has to play.
Okay, no. Even then, it's not the same thing. This is what the whole thing with drafting Tua was. The Dolphins were in a very, very unique position that no other team in the league was. Is that they have the luxury of being able to let Tua sit and watch and learn and wait and see what happens. That's the same thing that happened with Patrick Mahomes, who right now everybody says is the constituent best quarterback in the NFL. So there's nothing wrong with letting him sit and wait. It's not like you have to make him play early in order to make him take his lumps. Why would you set him up that way? Justin Herbert is playing now because if I'm not mistaken, Tyler Thigpen Tyrod Taylor got hurt, and that's why Justin Herbert is playing. And I guess he did all right. I didn't get to see anything about what he did or not. Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow because they didn't have anybody else. They literally had no one else on the roster to play. He went in there and he was going to be the guy right away because they had no one else. Yeah. Tua is the only guy who has the luxury of being able to sit, wait, and watch this team recharge its batteries, get everything set in place so that when the time comes for him to finally touch that field, he's going to be able to get in there with the best situation possible for him. Another year of free agents, another year of draft picks that we're going to be able to make it so that the offensive line, whatever is left of the situation, is solidified. It's already looking good, but there's still room for improvement. Get that center fixed up, get that right tackle fixed up if we can. That would be fantastic. We have the wide receivers. We get your tight end a little more short up, get another Gesicki kind of guy who can maybe do a little bit blocking too. No. It's the 1-2 punch. I want the 1-2 punch, the Aaron Hernandez and Gronk thing. I want both. I'm greedy like that. And I'm greedy. I want both. But
so
All that stuff is in that's why you wait for Tua, because you have the opportunity that no other quarterback has the luxury of having, is that you can jump into next season with a football team that has reached the point where now is the time where we expect to be competitive. This was never the year to expect to be competitive. That was what the problem was. Everybody got excited when we got Tua, and now everybody wants to see Tua and assume that this team is ready. It's not. It's not. And it's frustrating that when we went into this offseason with Brian Flores, everybody had this mentality of, okay, come 2021, this is when it's really going to be time. And all of a sudden, we've just thrown that away because
I was about to mention
frustrated.
the Herbert stat line, by the way. He has
a
rushing
200 yards. Oh, yeah. Justin Herbert.
Listen.
Man, we should have drafted him
No,
instead.
He rushed for he has a rushing
amazing.
touchdown right now.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you this though, because about Herbert. The Chargers team are better than the Dolphins. They have good receivers. They have a good receiver, Keenan Allen, the top 10 receiver in the league. They got a good running back in Austin Eckler, and they have a good offensive line. That's different situations right there. They have a good tight end in Hunter Henry too. They got Mike Williams. They have a lot of weapons. Herbert I don't think he was ever Miami's choice because I don't think he fits what they want to do. That's another Ryan Tannehill. He's gonna have his good games. He's gonna have his bad games. So,
I didn't say you did, Robert. I didn't say you did. Don't worry.
But Tyrod Taylor was playing. He didn't play well last weekend. He got hurt, so obviously you got to go with the next best thing. So
they're a Randy Bullock field goal from potentially like being 0-1.
Correct.
When you really think about it.
Very, very true.
And this is gonna be something else that I feel like it needs to be brought up, because Jamie keeps popping up in the chat, basically saying that the problem was that they felt like they were outcoached. See, this is the thing. I don't feel like that's the case. What is the proof that they got outcoached as a team? All I saw was that, yes, the Dolphins gave up all those yards, but once the Dolphins started doing exactly the same thing that the Bills were doing, then the Bills couldn't stop them either. So what's the difference? It really wasn't make a difference. Just one team made mistakes, and then the other team started making mistakes, and then that's kind of where it all went.
In a way, guys, I will say this with last week and this week, it felt like the Bills and the Patriots, whatever they did in the first half, they still were able to do it in the second, and I guess that's where the fans can look at that and say, well, there weren't any adjustments made, but they seem to forget that the Dolphins themselves also hurt themselves. Per se, like missed tackling, not capitalizing on interceptions today. So even though it may seem like the whole game they didn't make adjustments, they did.
Well, they did make some adjustments. The Bills were able to move for a little while.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't make the plays on the field to capitalize on that. Those are two different things. I think the fan base has to open their eyes.
What was the score at the half? The score at the half was 21.
The half it was 17-10.
17-10. Yes.
All right. So the Dolphins gave up 2 touchdowns after the half, right? So the Dolphins,
but it took a while for them to get moving again. The Bills, they got stops for a little while.
The Dolphins scored 18 points in the second half, right? Correct. Yeah. Should have been 24 points. Drop touchdown pass in the end zone, right? Xavier Howard catch the interception. What is my dream scenario if we ended up winning only 6 or 7? Oh,
basically, who you picking?
Well, the Dolphins gonna have probably.
God, we're only 2 weeks in, and we're already discussing the draft.
They probably gonna have a top 10. They're gonna have a top 10 pick.
They might have 2 top 10 picks.
Yes. So no. Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson.
Jamie, I'm sorry, bro. I don't agree with that.
Nah, I'm trying to speak it. I'm trying to speak it into existence.
But I'm gonna say this though. I think the Dolphins need to find at receiver. I like Waddle and I like Devontae Smith. But realistically, if I'm being honest, the 2 prospects that the Dolphins should want is
Micah Parsons
and Sewell. With Sewell, go ahead and solidify the offensive line because you can just move Jackson to right tackle or him to right tackle, left tackle, whatever. You got your 2 bookend tackles for the next 10 years. And then the guard situation, Jesse Davis can move back to guard or you can move on from him. But Parsons is the guy we need.
Herbert update.
Thank you, Ethan.
Thanks.
You're making it very difficult.
That's actually me.
That's you. I'm no used to seeing the logo and thinking that's Ethan. I'm like calling Ethan out on the cover for nothing.
But if you watch Herbert play, he done missed like 7 throws.
Yeah, he missed a couple throws already. Yeah.
So he's inaccurate. Ryan Tannehill was doing the same thing. Hit a touchdown, missed 5 touchdowns. So I just everybody wants the right now success, but that's not how great organizations are built. It takes time to build MVP. Oh Lord.
It's a different situation. Again, it just goes back to seriously, you think about it, when's the last time you felt this way? That there was a chance of actually being good. There was even after the freaking 10-6 wild card losing to the Steelers in Gase's first year, it still wasn't all right, I feel like we're in the right direction.
It kind of felt like we were
it felt like it was okay
there.
But you never felt oh wow, this is going to be a great team down the future because you still knew that there were so many issues that they never fixed.
So
somebody needs to tell Jamie that the Dolphins' plan for this season wasn't to win the Super Bowl.
No, the Dolphins' plan this year was to win 6 to 8 games. That was it.
I wouldn't say it was their plan. I think it was their expectation.
So I'm gonna tell you another thing though, with the hybrid and stuff like that. If Tua was healthy this season, he would have been a number 1 pick. So I don't understand what people going crazy about. So Tua would have been the guy. Everybody would have been, but overall, the Dolphins played an excellent second half. They made adjustments, but I think going forward with a quick turnaround. I mean, the Dolphins can't pick up their first win this year, obviously, because, Jacksonville is not that great on defense. So let's just see. The only thing is this quick turnaround hurts a team like Miami with an older quarterback. So
I think it's when you look at the schedule, it's when you expect that first win when you really think about it. This is Jacksonville, then Seattle. San Fran's had a lot of injuries, and they got
San Francisco had Nick Bosa carted off. Jimmy Garoppolo didn't start the second half, so he's hurt. Yeah, he's also
Solomon Thomas.
I'm not saying that you should win those games, but this season should be about being able to show progress on both sides of the ball.
With those teams. The Dolphins have played.
Correct.
The Dolphins have played 2 games where we all saying the same thing. Oh, they could have won that game.
Yeah. And to just quickly to address Jamie again, it's not that we're saying that this that's what you're saying. And that's how it comes off, but it's literally the fact that you have to put yourself into a mindset that this was never going to be the type of season where the Dolphins were going to be this amazing football team. It takes time, it takes progress. You're not going to expect Ryan Fitzpatrick and Chan Gailey to lead you to a wild card berth in a Super Bowl. That's not the expectation right now.
I mean,
man, Dolphins Nation can be quite tough.
It's all right when it cures everything. So once they get that first win, we'll be all right. And obviously, the Dolphins are gonna probably beat some teams they shouldn't beat anyway.
Because that happens every year.
That happens every year. I.e., last year the Eagles.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, the Eagles, and I think they'll beat San Francisco because San Francisco plays like crap when they come to Miami. So
I mean, guys, when I also look at it, just for the fact that Tom Brady's not in New England anymore, and you, in a way, you have that open window to finally try to win the division. I guess that's
who's not looking very good right now, actually.
Who?
Could it be Tom Terrific himself?
That's true too. But they won, right?
Yeah,
they won. I mean, I don't know, 21-0, and the Panthers came back, but.
I mean, but I don't know what people. But listen, no.
Okay.
If you watch the film from last year, guys, subscribe to all the 22 on Game Pass. You get it all. Tom Brady didn't look good last year. His arm is shot. Drew Brees, arm shot. Fitzpatrick, arm shot. The only time those guys have looked good, Fitzpatrick looked good later in the season because his arm was staying alive, but he still threw for 300 yards today. Let's just look at the positives. A lot of this is negative, but the Dolphins lost by 3 points to a team who everybody's expecting to win the division. Myles Gaskins had a good game. Jackson looked good again.
Sorry, Lewis. I mean, it's a big comment. Right? You want me to
Michael, you're trying to push me out the screen, man.
Yeah.
But anyway,
No, it's
I'm
a good
gonna go
comment,
ahead.
though.
I'm gonna wrap it up with this just because I feel like we gotta start ending this up. This is not us making excuses for the team. We're not going to sit here and pretend that they didn't struggle, because they did. They did. But that's the whole thing. We expected them to struggle. This is practically a college team. There's is there even I think is Fitzpatrick the only one on the whole team who's over the age of 30? I think he is. I think he's the only guy on the whole team that's over the age of 30. This is practically a college football team, and they're all trying to learn and grow together. This is the team that's still trying to work out the kinks that they were still working out at the end of last season. There were a ton of teams. There were a ton of players there were a lot of players that were holdovers that are still learning the game, trying to work together as a cohesive unit. You have Austin Jackson, left tackle, brand new guy, Solomon Kinley, brand new guy, Ted Karras, new to the system, but still young. He's still a young guy. Parker is still young. Williams is still trying to learn how to catch the football. But Mike Gesicki,
You didn't have to
still
go
young.
there.
You went there.
If he had caught it, we would have won. Just saying.
Just
But
to
anyway.
also back up your point, Jesse Davis is the next closest at 29.
And Kyle Van Noy, 29 years old too. These guys are except for Fitzpatrick, everybody here is under 30 years old. These are young guys. Even the veterans are young guys. We need to realize that this is a team that has to learn, grow, and develop, which is why we kept saying over and over and over again. I've been saying this since Brian Flores got hired in 2019, that this team was not going to go anywhere until at least 2021. And if they drafted Tua, you shouldn't get your hopes up until the year after.
Nah, I just don't think I'm not gonna say he's not ready, but he'll be good.
And with that,
He would have been.
let's go ahead and call it here.
Yeah, man.
He would have been the number one overall pick if he was healthy. I agree with
Correct.
that
And on top of this, I think that the Dolphins have a great chance of winning on Thursday. So let's just see. Hopefully, winning cures all. So.
Hopefully Thursday we can be back here with a better attitude,
Correct.
On that note, guys, real quick, guys, don't forget we'll have another yard prep show for the Dolphins game on Thursday. I believe kickoff Thursday nights is what, 8:15, 8:20 or so.
I
So
think
8 o'clock.
Yeah, but
8:20
or so. So our pregame show, I will probably say 7:30 or so. So be on the lookout for that for sure.
Follow us on Twitter,
8:20,
King Jock 24.
8:20. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in.